You are listening to the Workbench After Hours podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to the Second Amendment, where we talk about firearms, everything going on in the gun community, and we even try a different whiskey every week.
On this week's episode, we talk about solvent traps and ATF trying to go after them. And if you live in Massachusetts, I'm sorry, but they're trying to pass 56 bills on gun control. I hope you enjoy, and while we're doing that, we're trying Nelson's Brothers whiskey.
Welcome back to episode number 96 of the Workbench After Hours podcast. And Chris is going to tell us what we're drinking this week.
We are trying Nelson Brothers Classic. So, on the back, it says, siblings never really see eye to eye. And Andy and Charlie Nelson both agreed every bottle of Nelson's Brothers whiskey must be distinct of bearing family name. One sip of this vigorous, versatile whiskey, a high rye blend with a long, gentle finish, and you'll know it's the Nelson Brothers.
High rye straight bourbon whiskeys blended and well aged in new charred oak American barrels.
It's a 93.3 proof, or for us, 46.65% volume of alcohol.
Yeah. We've actually had it airing out. Joe is with us on the podcast. If you're not watching on YouTube, he's back this week.
Yo.
So he's going to give us his opinion on this stuff too. And we're going to talk more gun stuff because Joe loves talking about guns.
I will sit here silent. Just kidding.
So on the nose, it's supposed to be getting a spicy cake, cherry, milk chocolate, vanilla, and baked apple. I definitely get the spice.
That's all I'm smelling is spice.
I get spice and vanilla.
Yeah.
It smells a lot like bourbon.
Thanks.
Sorry.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, it smells like a rye whiskey, I think.
It's interesting.
How do you like yours, Joe?
It's good. So I'm going to be honest. I have horribly chapped lips. So it's like I'm getting stabbed in the mouth whenever I take a drink. But once I get past that, I like it. It's warm. It kind of reminds me of a warm blanket.
Warm blanket.
Yep.
I'm getting a lot of the spice of a rye on it.
That's basically all I'm getting.
And it's... He almost spits it out.
Right? Yeah, so Chris and I's is very mellow, I guess you can say.
Yeah, no, I'm getting very spicy. I get a lot of spice.
Spice.
It's very spicy.
Do you get a high alcohol content? in
Yes, I'm getting a ton of... Why? What is it?
yours? So, Joe is actually drinking something different.
It's very strong.
Yeah.
So is it not my chapped lips?
we... Nope.
Okay, well then I'm glad I reacted the way I did because it just tastes like shit.
So Chris and I are having this Nelson's Classic.
All right.
Chris thought it'd be funny to play a little joke on you.
What is it?
Jack Daniel's single barrel proof.
121%.
Yeah, it's super. I was gonna say, like,
That stuff is rough to drink, like watered down. I'm
Yeah.
surprised you were able to.
Yeah, no.
well, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I mean, but yeah, it.
Got some hair on your
Thanks,
chest now?
I really appreciate it because I really do have chapped lips, and this is like, it's like I'm getting, like I said, stabbed in the mouth.
So
I think it's good.
we've had that on a podcast a long time ago,
Yeah.
and it's rough. Like
Yeah.
it tastes like straight gasoline, I think.
Oh man, yeah. No, it just hurts my lips. And my tongue. Like my tongue is on fire.
I'm like shocked he didn't notice the color difference right
Yeah.
off the bat.
I
I
don't
don't
think.
pay attention to these things. Okay, come on. You can't.
Yours is
yeah,
a lot
mine's a lot darker. Oh, well, you're an asshole. So
Well, you got to try something that you haven't tried yet.
I think it's good. I honestly, if I were a few in, I could probably drink this, no problem.
Well,
But that would be a bad idea.
Yeah.
yeah, that
That one.
121 point something proof.
Yeah.
Chris and I have had that, and we've put it on the rocks and let it melt,
Yeah.
and it's still rough.
I told you it smelled like whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, whiskey gasoline.
Yeah.
So you don't have to finish.
Can I
that.
smell yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, ours is much
Mellower.
way mellower.
Oh, it's like water. Let me try it. Can I try it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Good. Yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
lower.
Yeah, that's
Can you even taste it?
no, I
compared to
can
the
taste
other
it. Yeah, I get a little vanilla, definitely a little bit of spice, but it's much smoother. I can't even feel that on my lips. So
one? So
sorry.
on the palate, I'm getting basically spice and vanilla.
Yeah.
You're supposed to get black peppercorn, which I think is that spice, spearmint, lemon peel, and sweet tobacco. I don't get that spearmint.
No, and I love spearmint usually.
Right.
No, the finish has a little bit of like a menthol. Yeah.
All right. And the finish, it says on the website, banana bread, cocoa, cherry, dried pineapple.
What about dry pineapple?
Well, with mine, I'm getting on the nose a little bit of jet fuel, followed by desperation, depression, and falling over into a bush.
Every time I've smelt that, it's just straight. I smell the proof. Like I can't even get the charred oak out of it or vanilla.
Maybe what you need to do then is taste it when you don't know what it is.
Maybe.
Because honestly, it's kind of nice. It's just really strong. Like it's
Yeah.
just too strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have a really small bottle of it, and it's lasted since we started this podcast.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, and I think I got one at home. And
And Chris kind of gave you a heavy pour on that too.
This is like 3 shots.
yeah.
So you're gonna start feeling good here in probably about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You don't have to finish that if you don't want
All
to.
right, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna put it over here.
So, or you can put it on the rocks. But if you'd rather have what we're drinking,
Yeah, go ahead.
put that on the rocks.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a little bit.
Kind of mellow it down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean it's again, it's good. It's when you breathe outward, it is sort of like you could probably ignite that.
Oh, I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's high in alcohol content.
So I'm going on the rocks right now.
It's good.
It's all right. That's what we usually do. We usually try it on the neat first and then pour it on the rocks and drink it that way the rest of the episode. Now it's gonna, I think it's obviously gonna
It'll mellow
Mellower,
up
yeah.
the spices a lot.
kind of bring out some of that vanilla a little bit more.
Yeah. Sweeten it up maybe.
So should be a little, it's gonna taste like water compared for Joe compared to what he was drinking.
I was waiting for him to know. I was like, why is yours so much lighter?
He handled that well.
I
Did you
know.
see my face though?
Yeah.
Because I was kind of like, but I'm not smart enough to be like, this isn't it. Like I'm just thinking, wow, they chose a really weird bourbon or whatever.
And Joe's like, really? That low proof and it tastes like this?
Yeah. That's the
Alright.
first thing I always notice is proof.
Yeah.
Like right away. You're like, ooh.
So you were on point. Ours had spice too, and so did yours. You're
a
just-
lot of spice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't judge me for that. There's spice in that
Oh yeah.
bad boy. Cool.
All right. So we've got a couple gun topics this week, and I know Joe's favorite. First of all, what gun are you buying?
You know, I currently only own a shotgun.
No.
The Golden Boy's gone.
What? Who'd you sell it to?
One of our employees
How,
just caught whatever I paid you for it.
would you pay? Would you pay him?
I think. $450.
Did you even shoot it?
No.
Oh,
That's why I sold it. I felt bad that it was just sitting there, and he really wanted it. He has another version of it, a larger caliber, I think. So he was super excited to get it, and like I said, I kind of felt bad, but I was tired of getting crap for having it, and
who was giving you crap?
a lot of people. You know, we're not a gun family. Love you, Mom. But so yeah, you know, I don't know. Put the money in other places.
And unfortunately, if you're watching on YouTube, Joe is making us, Chris and I feel way
sorry.
underdressed.
Yeah.
Like,
I would take my jacket off, but I have massive pit stains, so I don't want to do that to the viewers that we have.
well, luckily these aren't like the old school lights that like just
Yeah.
radiate heat. These are LED, so it's not gonna. Plus,
Yeah.
we got a fan going to help you out there.
No, I sweat a lot. I have
Well,
hyperhidrosis.
You're probably sweating more from the freaking Jack Daniels thing.
I know.
That didn't help. Sorry, but you're gonna feel really good by the time this is over.
Nah, I gotta drive. I gotta be careful. I only had a little bit. Promise, everyone.
I mean, you got to finish that before you leave.
I'm not finishing it. You can go to hell.
Chris has to finish it. It was his idea.
Yeah.
I'll have to put it on the rocks.
But
So-
I think if I were to buy a gun, it'd be another pistol because they're easy, they're fun to shoot, they're challenging to shoot
Yeah.
for me. So
Yeah.
I think I'd do another pistol. I would want something interesting.
Out of all the guns, pistols are the hardest to shoot.
Yeah.
Because with long guns, you can shoulder it and get control. Whereas a pistol, I mean, you're
Yeah.
You're wanking it or cranking it. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's always hard to control.
Hey, we can get you a pistol. And actually, Black Friday was last week, and there were quite a few. I didn't do a whole lot of looking at guns, but I did see some good deals. So hopefully you guys got some good deals on guns and or ammo. One that I saw, Palmetto State Armory, the dagger, kind of like the one that's behind Chris and Joe, was on sale for $250.
Wow.
Which is my dealer price for that. And it's just the basic standard one that kind of like the one we have up there. But for $250, you basically have a knockoff
Glock 19.
And that's like one of my most popular videos is a dagger versus a Glock 19. And
We still need to go shoot.
I know.
And compare.
I have Fort Scott Munitions is going to send us some ammo. They're going to send us a couple boxes of 945 and then subsonic 300 blackout because I want to do a video on that suppressor on this 300 blackout behind Chris that you can't see. Kind of seeing what the sound difference is between regular velocity versus subsonic because there is a difference.
They also do a lot of like armor piercing or hollow point.
Yeah.
Because I went down there and actually looked at their store and they like had comparison of their ballistics and like the gel. And you can see how it like separates and everything. And they compare it to like Hornady and all the other ones. And it was pretty cool to see.
I asked if we could do like a tour
Yeah.
and they said no. Because it's like they have a lot of proprietary
Yeah.
stuff. So I'm like, all right, I get it. But it would be cool to try it because I've never bought their ammo or tried it. So I want to kind of see and local company, what, an hour from here?
Yeah.
Maybe, if that.
Easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So kind of cool. So we'll try out their ammo and if it's good, maybe we'll buy some and
Yeah.
run that through. But I definitely want to use that 9mm for the dagger. Do a full review on that thing. And I know I want to use contact Ryan because he's got the Apex trigger he put in his.
Yep.
Kind of compare those two because I know a lot of people say the trigger's not as good, which dry firing it
Yeah.
is not. So
Yeah. That's like the first thing they
I
do.
have a question. What's dry firing mean? Sorry.
well, when you don't have any lotion or lube and you just kind of go raw.
I really don't know what it means.
It's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. No, it's when you just fire a gun without any ammo in it.
Why would you do that?
You can.
Oh, okay.
Just
So do people care what a dry fire feels like?
Some do. That'll see what their trigger feels like and they'll I like it or I don't.
So the trigger feels different if there's ammunition in or not.
Well, when you're looking at a gun trying to decide to buy it.
Oh, that's true. You're not going to have a. I guess you're right.
Yeah.
You're not going to be like.
Yeah. So on the video I did, I kind of dry fired both of them, and you could kind of see in the video how much pull or take up each one had compared to the other, and there was a lot more take up in the dagger.
Yeah.
But
I also have a Glock 19 spare trigger that you could throw in there and see if it makes a difference.
yeah, is it like just the?
It's just the standard.
Are the parts interchangeable?
I know
They should be.
they should. A lot of parts are because you have the Gen 3.
Yep.
Okay, maybe. And also, what I want to do is take the Gen 3 slide, put it on the frame,
Yeah.
and supposedly you can fire it that way too.
Yeah, that'd be interesting because I know I was looking for a slide upgrade and I was looking at the dagger stuff because it's a lot cheaper. You can get an RMR cut. They have like 10 or 15 different designs and it's like $250. Where are you going to find another like Glock brand or higher end slide with all that?
Right.
So
Nice.
that's why I want to test it too.
Yeah. Hopefully, if you guys saw that deal, picked one up. I mean, $250.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good for any gun, really. I mean, at that point, you're almost getting in the paperweight high point price right there.
Yep.
High points are really bad guns, Joe.
I was gonna say I don't understand the reference.
They're really bad. They're terrible. They're super heavy. They have a high. They're just
Point.
They're terrible.
Okay, sorry.
They're like the worst of the worst, and
This is good
super
stuff.
affordable, but you kind of get what you pay for with those. And
No, that's
Micah had
the worst.
one, and I was shot it, and it was. I mean, it was not fun. It's super heavy, and it's just.
Why buy a gun like that? Why do they sell them?
They're cheap and people will go out. If they want a gun cheap, they'll buy it.
Yeah.
Just so they can carry a gun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, if you don't have a lot of money, that's an option. But
Yep, absolutely good.
there's
Okay.
a certain,
Gotcha.
I'm sure a lot of certain criminals like those guns because they're
Okay,
inexpensive.
all
Too.
right.
Yep.
But you never know.
Royals are doing good.
The Royals aren't playing, Joe.
They're out of it. They're done.
Sorry, Taylor.
All right.
Swift.
So speaking of that, if you guys have been to a gun show, you may or may not have come across a guy at a table selling what's called solvent traps.
Or they call them fuel filters also.
Yeah. The one I had in Topeka, it was just some kid and his girlfriend, and they go to like all these different gun shows. I think he was from Oklahoma or Texas. And he was selling these solvent traps, and he had them on the table. I think they were like around $200, give or take, depending on which one you got. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And he would not say, obviously, what it is. And
Solvent trap.
I'm not going to say it either, but you get the idea. It looks like a suppressor, but it's a solvent trap. And I'll post some pictures on the screen in editing, kind of what they are. But there's no hole on the end. So they're these threaded things. It's got a certain thread to fit on a certain size thing on
You got to make sure it's
something you
the
have.
same thread count and
Yeah.
pitch for other items.
And then there's a part to where you could possibly drill a hole and, do what you will with that.
It's a great fuel filter, is what
Yeah.
I've heard.
Yeah.
So is this legal?
So, yes, I mean, right now they are. But, like, we're looking at a website right now, just solvent traps. The one that this kid had was unbranded. I'm like, what brand are those? And he's like, I can't say. Because there was no markings
China.
on them or anything. It was just, they were just solvent traps. And people would come up and be like, what the hell? Look at it. And then after a minute, they're like, okay, I see what
get
it is.
it.
I get it. It's so you don't have to pay $200 tax stamp on a certain thing that's behind you, Joe.
Oh, I understand what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Just making sure. So
But you can't just okay. So I was wondering if it was illegal to sell them.
it's not illegal to sell them because as they're set up,
No, what you were is it illegal to sell what the end goal is, or are you just trying to avoid a tax
It's
on
kind of like a gray area.
it? Okay,
yeah,
all right.
as is, it's a non-functional one of those,
Yeah.
Okay.
and so they say it's a solvent
But
trap.
in the state of Kansas, you're allowed to have it
Yeah,
without, unless you get caught by the feds.
in the state of Kansas, you can make your own suppressor.
yeah.
What's this guy sell them for? How much?
So on the website, they're anywhere from $99 to like $200, just depending on what one you get and what thread and size
Yep.
you get. And yeah, it's interesting. I wouldn't want one. One, for the legality reasons, and two, I don't know if I would trust this or not.
Yeah,
But-
really. I was gonna say. I mean, who knows?
Because I wonder, since it's a solvent trap, if the traps actually have holes in them too. Or do you have to drill into those?
You do. So
They're just calling it that just to get away with it.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah. That's not like.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like
Oh,
they
I
used to-
thought you thought maybe that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I thought you were like, well, it's a solvent trap. No, it's
Yeah,
like.
I know what it is.
It's-
but-
Okay. Sorry.
But you see, like,
It's that thing behind you.
all these traps.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
Yeah.
It's a,
or
hey
baffles.
guys, you want me to say it? Can I say what it is?
It's baffles.
It's a silencer.
So,
Is that what they call it?
suppressor.
Oh,
correct,
sorry,
but-
suppressor. James Bond.
Right.
Yeah.
But they don't. The very end where your bullet would come out is you
That's
have
only-
to drill it.
That's the
Yeah. What
only
if you don't
spot.
drill it in the right place?
That's you kind of run that risk.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why I don't know if I'd want to do it.
Why can't you just buy one?
Oh, what?
Like, why can't you just go and buy a suppressor?
You can.
You can, but they're expensive, and you got to get your NFA item. It's an NFA item, so you got to pay a tax stamp.
Yeah, for every suppressor you buy, you have to pay an extra $200 for your tax stamp, and then you
Okay.
have to.
So how much is a suppressor?
So that one behind you,
Yeah.
it's probably like $500 or $600,
So it costs you $800 to have a suppressor,
Yeah.
and that's
Okay.
per suppressor.
or you can buy a $99 solvent trap
Yeah.
and drill it, and then you get away with it. Are gun owners that cheap?
There's a lot of people because when you buy a
Register
suppressor, you register it under this what's called the NFA Act.
So
So
they know that you have it.
Yeah.
yes,
Oh, I see.
and you can't just.
Oh, that's the real reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, I got you. All right. Gotcha.
You're
Sorry. I take it back everything I
the
said.
government knows you have that, and I can't sell that to anybody. I have to sell that back to a dealer that's licensed.
So,
in
Are
that.
these people driving around without license plates?
Maybe.
No.
They know you have your car. They know you have your house. What's the problem?
First of all, how do people? I see, especially trucks, all the time driving without license plates, or they have like some like a say a Glock license plate.
Well, you're
on the
supposed to
back.
have a front license plate if it's a farm truck. You don't have to have a rear license plate if it's.
How
a
do
farm
you prove
truck.
it's a farm truck? If
It's licensed that way.
all the ones I've seen are like really nice trucks. I'm like, how? Are
Yeah, and in Missouri, I don't think you actually have to have. I think you only have to have a front plate on a truck.
Okay.
I don't know for sure, but yeah, that's how.
I'll have to look next time because
Yeah.
I'm like, if I were to be doing that, I'd get pulled over.
Oh, all day long.
Okay, makes
Well,
sense.
that, and I see people still ride around on their 60-day temp tag from like 4 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Right.
But why don't people want the government to know they have these?
Because when the government decides that they no longer want you to have them,
They'll come and take them because they know who has them.
whereas if you buy,
Is that gonna happen?
I mean, they're going after people that buy certain things online already.
Like what?
certain triggers,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
that simulate full auto.
Ah, okay. So
Um,
like if you buy that, they'll be like, "Hey, why do you have that?"
so this
They'll
solvent,
come
so
knocking. Did you buy this? Do you have it? Where's
Okay.
it at?
I see.
yeah,
Okay.
and if you pay with a credit card, that's how they track you down and stuff. So if you can pay for cash, pay cash. But anyway, so these solvent traps, you've probably seen at a gun show, and right now they're still obviously for sale. However, an open letter from the ATF was sent out to all FFLs, but surprisingly, I didn't get one. Or maybe there's somewhere I got to look, but I got an email once on one of these, but I didn't get this one. Maybe because I don't sell them. I don't know.
Maybe.
But the ATF has kind of caught wind and kind of seen what the runaround is here. So they're basically going to classify some of these as actual suppressors.
It's funny
Yeah. So
because I've seen those been called more than solvent traps.
Yeah.
But
Like,
that's what they are, right?
yeah.
So the ATF has recently examined devices commonly marked as solvent traps and has determined that some of them are firearm silencers as defined in the NFA. So solvent traps are marked as devices that attach to firearm barrels to catch excess solvent used when cleaning firearms. So that's how it's marketed. You put them on your barrel and it catches
Yeah.
the gun clear, apparently. And ATF has not classified any device as a solvent trap because that term does not exist in the relevant federal statutes. Hold on. That term does not exist. You know what term also does not exist, Chris? What does the media always say? Assault rifle.
Yeah. Assault rifle. Yeah.
That term doesn't exist.
Nope.
But they're saying this term doesn't exist. So because they say it doesn't exist.
But I've also seen them called fuel filters,
Mhm.
and they put them on your car.
Yeah, and the fuel filter ones though, you can actually shoot a hole out instead
Yeah.
of drilling in it.
Yep.
I mean, to each his own.
Why do you need what? So what? Like
They're pretty much the exact same thing, except
Right, but
it doesn't have all the baffles. It's got like it's just almost like it's got a little bit of baffling, but
It's literally a fuel filter.
yeah, it's literally
why?
a fuel
But like
filter.
Chris, like why would you have a
like if you didn't want to
solvent trap
if you didn't
on your
want
gun?
an FA item silence.
So
it's,
I like
No,
that.
like why would you have one like when you go shooting, you're at a range, right?
yeah.
So do you need a silencer?
I like
if you're
it.
indoor, it'd help if you're using like a firearm, like
Really?
a rifle. It makes a big difference.
So
in
it's
hearing.
nothing like the movies. Like when
Yeah.
you see
It's not like beep.
no.
No, okay.
I still wear hearing protection because it's still loud.
Hmm.
It's just not as loud.
Okay.
So I use it to help protect my ears and
We got videos of you shooting outside. I mean,
Yeah.
the only one that really was, it sounded like a BB gun. Literally, was your 22. I think I was like, man, that sounds like a BB gun.
yeah.
Can you just use hearing protection?
You can, but indoors, you're getting all that concussion from inside too.
Really?
And the acoustics, it's coming back at you.
And I don't know if you've ever shot an actual AR, but they are
yeah, I guess I have.
Stupid loud.
they're very loud.
Yeah.
And like Chris's 6'5", Creedmoor, the way he has set his setup, his is really freaking loud, and there's a lot of concussion. So if you're standing on the it's miserable.
That'd be bad to be concussed.
Yeah,
Sorry, no, that wasn't me.
because I was standing behind him when he was shooting it, kind of off about a 45-degree angle, and when he shot that, I felt that concussion in my chest. I'm like, Jesus.
So a fuel filter helps that.
A suppressor actually gets rid of any concussion.
Does it like affect the velocity of the
it
bullet?
can.
It can. That's why you'll see some ammo marked as like standard velocity, but then they'll have subsonic. It just travels slower, and so it's going to be quieter when it comes out of the can.
Gotcha.
And it's all about how many decibels it reduces. Each suppressor has a certain decibel rating, and I got that one because it was like one of the quietest ones. And honestly, I do it to protect my hearing.
Okay.
That's really the only way. You're not going to be able to go and sneak in somebody's house or snipe somebody out in public and nobody hear that gun. It's not like that. They're still loud.
Yeah.
That's the whole misconception.
But you can you're allowed to take them to ranges and shoot with them. Okay.
So I can. So since that suppressor is registered to me, I'm the only one technically that can be in possession of it. If you're with me, you can shoot it, but I can't let you borrow it. Or since Marie hasn't done the paperwork on it yet, she can't have it. So if something happens to me, if I were to like die somehow, she is not legally allowed to have it. So she would either have to turn it into the ATF or have a dealer that's licensed in suppressors pick it up.
Does the ATF pay you if you turn them in?
Fuck no. Kidding me?
I don't know. I mean, it's like a cash for clunkers situation going on.
Those gun buybacks, they give you gift cards to like Walmart.
Outback Steakhouse.
You see that? I sent you that video, right?
Yeah, there's a guy running for senator who's a big YouTube gun channel. What was his name?
I can't remember. I sent it to you though, like this last week.
In Austin, they were doing a gun buyback, and there were surprisingly a lot of people. And this YouTuber, is he the guy that's running for Senate?
I think so.
He is. He's running for senator of something, and he's also an FFL and a famous gun YouTuber. So he went to that place and was actually trying to buy the guns from the people before they turned them in.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then he also bought like some really cheap
What
guns.
Idea.
He went and bought like some $79 shotguns or like super cheap and was going to turn those in and then get more back in the gift cards that they were giving away.
Did it work?
He got kicked out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They didn't like it.
Yeah. They didn't like it. But then he kind of stood on the sidewalk off the property, and I think he bought like
he bought
a few guns.
Yeah.
But and his good point is like a lot of people were turning in collectibles.
Yeah.
Like guns that you
worth
don't want to
something.
be destroyed that have a history.
Oh, so they're destroying these, I guess, then, right?
Yeah.
The guy,
Supposedly.
he asked one of the guys, and they're like, well, we're not sure. We got to kind of go through them. And
Make sure they weren't using
and he's like,
crime.
can I just buy them? And they wouldn't let him buy them.
That's crazy.
And which is crazy because he's an FFL.
Well, the crazy thing is, are they FFLs for the buyback programs?
They're turning it into the police, so I don't know.
But don't you have to be a FFL to take possession of a gun?
I think it's different when you're law enforcement.
I have a question.
Yes.
What's FFL?
Federal Firearms License.
Okay.
I'm an FFL, or I have an FFL.
Okay.
So
You can sell?
You're a licensed dealer. Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
You
Is
can
that hard
sell
to
and buy.
is that hard to get?
No, it's actually easier to get that than a suppressor. Surprisingly.
Oh.
But
All right.
you get interviewed by the ATF, and you have to
Like,
show.
do they come out to your house?
Yeah, they
Really?
they
That's
interview you
interesting.
just to make sure that you're doing it like as a business to make profit and not just to buy guns for yourself or your buddy. You actually have to have a business reason to become a gun dealer.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So obviously I was opening up Boomstick Tactical, and he's like, cool. And then the rest of the time they kind of show you how to do the paperwork and do all that stuff. So it's an interview, but then also training on how to do stuff.
Wow. Is that free?
Yeah. Well, you pay for the license, but that's part of it.
Okay. Oh, that's neat.
I think it was like $300, and then it's like not very much every 3 years to renew it.
Oh.
So
Yeah, I'd really want to know, like, what does the police department do with it? Are they destroyed? Are they checking up on old crimes?
well, there was a guy that turned in a full auto Uzi.
Yeah.
How does that? Because those are, unless you have the proper paperwork on that, you legally cannot own that.
Yeah.
So how did he not get in trouble? Is it just because he was turning it in? They wanted to get it off the street.
Well, some
They were-
Yeah, like you walk into a
some
police
of them
station with an
are
8-ball.
right?
Like, hey,
Like,
here you go. What are
some
they
of
going to
them are
say?
like, what, no questions not asked or whatever, like as long as you're doing it, I think. So, like, they can't
Don't ask. Don't
Yeah.
tell.
You know how much that guy could have sold that
Oh,
for?
What would you have paid, Keith?
I wouldn't have paid anything because I don't want to be in possession of an illegal gun.
Okay, good answer.
We'll talk about that later.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure a full auto Uzi is very, very difficult to come by.
Yeah.
It's easy in
and he
Halo.
just gave it away. There were a lot
Laying
of
on the ground.
a lot of people that he was asking to buy guns is like, no, we want to just get rid of them, get them off the streets. Which I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
It's Austin. You know, you gotta.
It's starting to become liberal.
They're the ones that did the what was it, the police reform or defund the police?
Yeah.
And they're now kind of regretting that.
Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of them like that. Like, oh, we opened up the borders. We want people here. Now they want them all gone. Like New York. Crazy.
I think you're making Joe uncomfortable.
I'm looking at this light.
I
It's
bet
a
it
nice
was,
light.
I bet it wasn't uncomfortable like that one video I sent you. The guy was sitting there saying, bring back the real president, Donald J. Trump, get rid of Biden, and Joe Biden was standing behind him.
Right. That was awesome, actually.
You have to be able to take criticism.
So we digress. But
Armed forces.
so long story short here is
No.
ATF has got an eye on these solvent traps and probably similar items, and they're going to start classifying a lot of these as actual suppressors. So we're going to start seeing some issues with these, probably kind of like with the pistol braces. So they've got their eye out. There's a whole letter. It's 3 pages long, but some of these they're going to classify as being suppressors, especially if there's ones where the hole is marked to where you have to drill it. And yeah, so there's more stuff on there. Guns and Gadgets has a whole thing that they go over, or Mr. Guns and Gear too, but you could just easily look this up online. And it'll go through there. But the ATF has caught wind, so just be aware of that. If you own one or plan on purchasing one, kind of be careful.
Yeah.
And definitely pay cash. So Joe is actually going to like this next
Good
part.
to know.
Joe's going to like this next part. Chris and I are actually going to really hate this, and so it's probably a lot of people watching.
Oh, now I'm really excited.
Other than your mom, she's going to be happy too. I'm just kidding.
I'm not.
Just
You
kidding,
know what? I'm not. I'm not against gun ownership.
So
Why are you making it sound like that?
we just like to give you crap,
I know it's fine.
like make you drink whiskey that's super strong.
It's fine. It was water to me.
How you feeling, by the way?
Great.
Feeling pretty good.
No, I had like 2 sips.
Oh man, we should have let him go.
Yeah, really. I would never have known. I'd be like, this is really
Before you
good.
get to
I'm
this
gonna
next
fall
one,
over.
I need a refill, Chris. Mine's getting pretty watered down. This Nelson Brothers is actually really easy to drink.
Yeah, I'm starting to, like when I was noticing, you could start getting the spearmint with it being on the rocks.
Yes. So this would be a good kind of a beginner one too. I think it was around like $40-$45 maybe. I can't remember. And it's also good. It would also make cocktails, like for making like an old fashioned or something. Pretty good.
Just a wee bit. Just a wee bit.
So it's good. Do you like it, Joe?
Oh, just right there. Oh, that's a little bit too much, but thank you. Okay. Just a wee bit. What was that?
Do you like it?
Yeah, no, it's great. Love it. Thank you.
Prefer it over the Jack Daniels barrel
Yes, absolutely.
proof? All right. Good to know.
Definitely. For sure.
So, you know, when our country started, a lot of the stuff happened in Massachusetts, right?
Yep.
You know, Massachusetts
13
and the
colonies.
13 colonies. And we've actually, I was going to bring it up, but Chris and I did a podcast on it where certain symbols, the FBI, we did a podcast on that with
Yeah.
the FBI symbols. So certain symbols the FBI has put together as a possible terrorist or,
Oh, boy.
yeah, no,
Like
they
the
have.
Getson flag is considered that. Even
The
though
what?
The Getson flag.
I thought you said Jetson.
No, the one with the snake.
Don't
says
tread
come
on
and
me.
take- Yeah. And then the cannon that says, don't tread on me. Anything with 2A, because it's Second Amendment. So anything with 2A is considered a possible domestic terrorist. And the Betsy Ross flag, our founding flag, the first flag, is if you fly that or have that anywhere on you, it's an indicator that you be a possible domestic terrorist or like a militia that's anti-government.
Where are they looking for this? Like on your Facebook page, on your truck? What are they looking for?
Everywhere, probably.
I mean, and honestly, I don't think they're looking at everyday people like us. You know, there are some very anti-government groups that have those, and
Yeah,
they're
of
very
course. I'm thinking like, okay, they're investigating a group that could be a cult or militia, and then they see those flags. I understand how that could be potentially a sign that they could own guns, right?
Yeah.
Something I learned, though, from police officers, they don't use the term domestic terrorist.
What are they
It's,
use?
they don't. You're just a terrorist. You're not. They don't use domestic. They don't like using that term.
Why?
It's just terrorist. It's just how they done all their training and everything. They don't like using the word domestic terrorist. You're just a terrorist.
Because it's better.
I don't know. Like, I was like, he's like, you will hear people use that term. We don't use it. I was like, what? And he's like in charge of like a lot of like checking in on groups and making sure that stuff's not going on. But
Never heard of that.
yeah, it's crazy.
Interesting. All right. But a lot of the reasoning on I watched an interview. Matt Getz did an interview on probably about a year or so ago now. But it's because a lot of the militias are anti-government, and there's that specific part in the Second Amendment where it talks about militia. And that's why they think that, if you're really pro 2A, you also support a militia and all this stuff, where a lot of us, I have no affiliate with militias. I just like to own a gun because we can.
Yep.
And
it's my God-born given right.
yeah, so that's we've covered that, but it's just funny because everything started in Massachusetts. But what I'm getting at is Massachusetts is becoming almost worse than California now. They actually just submitted 56 new gun bills.
Jesus,
Let me say that again: 56
that's
new
ridiculous.
gun bills in a state that's already super strict on their gun stuff. Like they are very, very strict. And so they, unfortunately, where our country kind of started up, they're super anti 2A and all this stuff. And so there's, obviously 56 of them we can't go through, but obviously they have featureless ARs and stuff like that. They even come down on curio and relics licensees, and even just like pepper spray. They're limiting that. You have to have a
Get
permit.
those air horns.
You
I
have to
guess.
have a permit to have pepper spray if you're 15 to 18 years old. And
That's stupid.
and then obviously the large capacity feeding devices, firearms associated with those, and then mandatory registration, which is bad. Mandatory firearm safety training.
So it's illegal to own any firearm without registering it.
Not yet.
That's what they're saying.
But that's what they want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Part of this, and then they want to make you mandatory to do firearms training. Licensees have to do training. All this stuff, and adds ammunition to the limit of 4 private transactions per calendar year. So
Wow, that's nothing.
I know.
Like
What? So
really?
you can only buy four guns a year?
I don't know. I don't know the specifics on that, but this, whatever that is, they're adding ammunition to that. So
Oh, I see.
they might have limited the number of guns, but now they're also adding ammunition to the limit of.
So buy a ton of ammo.
But then
But it
I
says-
can't sell it to Chris.
Yeah.
Oh.
Technically, I can't sell him more than 4 times a year. I don't know.
How would they prove that though?
I don't know. And then there's a lot more prohibited areas where you can't carry a gun. And it's pretty lengthy. So
Oh wow, let's talk about schools right there. Elementary school, secondary school, college, or universities, including transport of
Yeah.
students to said institutions, including or upon part of the building, grounds, or parking areas. So, here's my question, right? We got a lot of schools in neighborhoods,
Mhm.
gun-free zones, supposedly.
Right?
If you live right, you're on that property line. Your property is.
So you're next door to a school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Technically, you're not allowed to own a gun, right? Because it's supposed to be
Well,
a gun-free zone.
You're not
within
on
so
the
many-
you're not on the property. It doesn't say anything about
No, but gun-free zones usually it's like within 100 feet
well, it
of the
doesn't-
school.
But it doesn't say anything about that, does it?
This is
You know.
Massachusetts specific, so I don't know.
But usually there's like a rule like within 100 feet you're not allowed to carry or have a gun.
Is that a school or federal property? I know there's a.
I thought it was on some of the schools too.
I don't know. When I was getting my license, we obviously live in, there's
Yeah.
a lot of schools around us, and I'm just far away enough to where I'm okay. If I was any closer to a school, then I might not have been able to get my home base license. And he's like, anybody that comes to buy a gun has to park in your driveway. just because I'm within so many feet
Yeah.
of the school.
Interesting.
But and then they go into red flag laws, definitions of receivers, and yeah,
See,
it creates uniform standards of security for businesses. So for sellers, they're gonna mandate how you secure your place. And
So I think this is interesting. Not to interrupt, but so the hard part about this is a difficult conversation, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not for us, not really, because we don't live in Massachusetts.
Right.
It's unfortunate for those that do.
But I mean, okay, so to say this expands throughout whatever. But like, it's a difficult conversation because they're making it illegal to carry or own firearms in a lot of places where it really is necessary to have them, but only during very specific circumstances, right?
Well, that's the whole thing about those gun-free zones. Those are targeted because what are they? Gun-free zones.
Right. So I guess the argument is making it illegal really going to stop it from happening.
No, it's not.
So I'm assuming what you're saying, your argument is, hey, we should have more there to stop that kind of stuff from happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because guess what? If you don't know, but you know there's a possibility, and if you wanted to go and cause harm.
But there's some crazy people that work at schools too, and I mean, there are crazy people that work everywhere.
Yeah, but
like, would you send your kid to?
If someone wants to cause harm, where's the most place you're gonna go? You're gonna go somewhere where if you don't care about numbers, you know that they're not gonna be armed.
Yeah.
I don't know about
And
you
now
guys.
you're making.
Have you ever been to anywhere? So have you ever been anywhere that like everyone's carrying a gun?
Yeah,
Texas.
Virginia.
No,
It's
I'm
an open
talking
carry
like
state.
I'm talking like another country. Okay, so if you go to other countries and there's like armed guards everywhere, it's kind of nerve wracking.
Yeah,
Maybe it's because I'm more uncomfortable maybe than you all are, but like, it's just like, would you send your kid to a school that every teacher's carrying a gun?
I would.
And it's no, I mean, a lot of teachers aren't going to be comfortable with it. I know a lot of people are like, if they're wanting to and willing to, then they go through training, and then that specific teacher is trained and is comfortable with having that gun in case anything were to happen. We're not saying every teacher should carry a gun or anything like that. No, it's
Sorry, I'm not trying to plug your show
No.
here. Okay.
No. And then like my high school, we had armed security guards. Like we did. Because
We did not. We had an SRO officer.
Yeah, they still had a pistol.
our SROs carried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But our high school was in the ghetto.
Well, and our SRO officer 2 years ago
Yeah, he actually took down.
actually had to. Yeah, I mean, he
Yeah.
saved probably lives.
Yeah.
By having that.
Yeah. So like, I think I don't think there should be a gun-free zone. Period.
What Chris's point is, all the areas that are targeted by these mass shootings and stuff happen at areas that are soft targets, because you're going into somewhere where it's
banned.
Yeah.
it's either banned or
Right. Well, that was kind of my point too.
Yeah.
It's like, so what's the solution there? Is it
I
really
think-
everyone
I
can
think-
carry?
I think they need to get rid of gun-free zones.
Well,
the
if-
Biden came up with that back in the 90s. And guess what? Where we've had most of our mass shootings since then, at schools and all these gun-free zones.
I don't know.
people that are anti-gun, their go-to is just ban all guns.
Right.
Well, okay, but do criminals follow law?
That's right. Exactly.
So you're going to take away somebody who is a law-abiding citizen that wants to, conceal carry or whatever. You're going to take away that right, and then that place is going to get, a criminal who wants to do harm. They're not going to care about the law. Obviously, they're going to commit murder, so that's a law they're breaking anyway. So you're just making it impossible for people to defend themselves against criminals that aren't going to follow the law
I
anyway.
also look at things like operational risk management. You gotta think of the worst possibility, and how do you prevent that?
Sounds like something he took in his master's class. That's a term.
Right. So the worst possible circumstance. How do you prevent that?
Yeah.
That's what they don't know.
Well, there's measures you can take to prevent those.
Like
every school have an SR officer there. Not every school has that. I know where I am in our school district, they have them alternate randomly throughout the day.
Oh, really?
So
It's
you
expensive
run
to have.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'd rather have my kid go to school. I know he's going to be safe.
So you pay higher taxes for that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're already paying a lot of taxes for stupid stuff that people don't even use.
Yeah.
Well, not even like if there's a school shooting. I mean, there's altercations between students that are going to happen that a teacher might not be able to break up.
Mm-hmm.
You want somebody who's can train.
What if the school said, "Hey, you got to pay us $300 a year, every parent"?
I mean, we're already paying.
Yeah,
$300 to have that peace of mind, though.
Yeah, I agree.
As a parent, I mean, they're blowing millions of dollars on sports complexes. I don't care about that. Protect my kid. They're going to school to learn, to get educated and grow and be an individual. They're not there to be worried about what could happen.
Do you worry?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because as a parent, you're going to worry more about your kid.
Yeah.
Like if it was me, if I knew something happened at that school, I would probably be on the news because I'd be going there and I'd be getting my kid out safely.
Mm-hmm.
So to Joe's point, so say if we did something drastic like Australia, take everybody's guns away and destroy them. You may, for the foreseeable future, there may be still mass shootings from criminals. But say like 10 years, 20 years down the road, when more and more guns are off the streets and then it's harder for criminals to get a gun, at that point,
well, the problem is,
then
the problem, here's another issue. You want that to happen. What's one of our biggest weaknesses in this country right now? Border security. We don't know who's coming in, what they got, who they got.
But it's illegal.
It doesn't matter. It's illegal to enter this country, but yet we have millions of people doing it daily.
What about Australia, though? Same thing with them.
They're an island, though.
Right, so then
it's harder to get in there.
That's what she said.
It's a huge island.
Yeah. And you got to think how many countries
like
don't
fly over and like parachute in, nobody even see you.
But how many countries
There's a lot of
don't
outback.
like America?
Well, I mean a lot.
A lot. So, they got every citizen's now gone. They don't have guns, no gun control. I want that land. I want that farmland because a lot of their resources come from us for food.
So you think that let me break this down. So you think that and
the whole reason for the
you
Second
think that
Amendment
like you
is to
think
prevent
maybe I don't know.
Australia hasn't got
Australia hasn't invaded us.
What do they
because
have?
they
What
think we
resources-
can't get their farmland because they may
what
have guns.
resources do they have though?
some hot
Like a lot of our
Australian
resources are feeding China.
What?
Like yes,
What'd you say? I didn't
a lot
hear
of
you.
a lot of our farmland is feeding a lot of like China. Oh, they don't have guns. We want that farmland. They can come in and invade us and take it over. And now we're China. We're a communist country.
Well, I think
That's
that's
where your
a really
military's for, though.
long. I think that's a long stretch.
I don't.
China's so far away, and there's
And
so
they're
many.
still coming through the border.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah. Well,
that's kind of what we do here, right?
No.
I like playing devil's advocate against
The whole
Chris.
reason
Well,
is
but it's just here's
here's
like
another thing that's coming up. December
I feel
7th.
like we use a lot of China's resources here.
We do, we don't. But they're they're using our resources for stuff that uses a lot of water.
But
things like that.
Even if civilians didn't have guns, you don't think our military is built to
Not that
defend
type of
all our
invasion. If you got Russia and China together and they decide they wanted to take us over because they know us, we don't have
Well,
any
look how
guns
well they're
anymore.
doing in Ukraine, though.
We're
Yeah,
not marching
they're-
into North Korea like taking it over. They don't
No.
have any guns. I mean,
Well,
Well, they probably
you know what
do.
I mean?
The
Like the
citizens don't.
citizens don't have guns,
Yeah.
right? So like we're not marching into other countries that don't have guns and taking them over.
no, but
But
if
It would
These
be
other
really
countries-
easy to do that. I mean, it'd be easier to do that for us to do that to somebody else than them to do it to us.
Yeah. Because right
Yeah.
now everybody's pretty much
Well, even if
armed.
we didn't have guns, like it'd be tough.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Because we don't have the North anymore to
Just really trying to say something that doesn't get me in trouble with anyone.
Because you got to think about it. Canada banned all weapons. They have no
Yeah, well,
guns.
we invaded them in like 3 days.
Yeah, but how close are they to Russia? Russian, it's just a hop, stop,
Well,
jump.
that means they're hop stop from us.
Yeah. But the reason they don't want to come invade us because they know these civilians are.
And that's the reason why they're not invading Canada. Is
Yeah.
because they know that our military will destroy them if they do.
Yeah, but
Right? That's
That's
why
all.
we have these alliances.
some.
You know, I don't know. Sorry.
But the
I don't
whole
know.
reason is to protect us from a tyrannical government or for invasions. There's a reason why Japan bombed Pearl Harbor and they didn't try to invade us.
So with that whole thing with the symbols that the FBI has, your thinking right there is the reason. Like you're one of the guys I would look at because
I'm a patriot and I'm a veteran that I served this country and I don't want this country to fall.
But and
Good.
and then you want to be armed against a tyrannical government, and that scares the government.
Yeah, it does because they're
Well-
doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing.
Well, I think the reason it scares them is because they don't know what defines that. So when do you think, like, when is it that you think that they're
Technically-
tyrannical?
Now,
Technically, right now they are.
Yeah,
If
I mean
you
that's
read
what I'm saying. That's
if
what
you read
scares
the
them. They don't know what that line
Constitution,
is.
if you read the Constitution, right now what they're doing to us is considered tyrannical.
well, of course they're scared because then they're going to be out of power.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And they can't sit there and manipulate. So eventually it's going to get so bad, people are going to, all right, overthrow. And they can't do anything about it because it's in our Constitution.
I mean, I certainly hope it doesn't get to that point.
Do you think that, if whether or not you believe in global warming, but say natural resources start drying up, and in order to survive or have your population survive, you have to get resources from another country not willing to give them up, and you have to go get those resources. I mean, at that point you got to invade that area, right?
Pretty much.
So
I think that that that's coming for so long that things kind of
I mean, how long until freaking
work themselves out.
I mean, that
A
could
little
happen to us internally with the whole West drying up,
Well,
California wanting all the water from Colorado. Well, what happens when all that dries up and the whole West doesn't have any water?
thing is, you can get water. We can make water. It's just expensive.
We can't make water.
We can make
Yeah, we can make
potable water. It's just very expensive.
So why don't we
If
start
you could
investing in
find-
that?
Well,
It's not
Well,
profitable
it is
Right now-
profitable.
right now.
but
It's too expensive to be profitable right now.
yeah, if you can find a way to make it cheap and effective and usable, you'll become a trillionaire overnight.
What's more expensive, having a whole area not be habitable, or investing in that cost to?
Depends.
I mean, technology evolves all the time. Like, it was probably not cheap to manufacture a car for the first time back in those days.
Yeah.
But with technology, we have all these crazy things now. Yes, it's going to be super expensive because we don't have full knowledge on how to do that or like the best resources. But it's kind of like with computers, like the first computers in house were super expensive.
Yeah,
Only a few people
they're the
had
size
that.
of this room.
Right. And now, look, everybody has
A computer in their pocket.
exactly. So if we start
The
looking
thing is,
into that whole
thing
water
is,
thing,
we're putting our money towards things that we shouldn't. We should be focusing on this country and worrying about us instead of other countries.
and water is a huge issue right now.
Yeah.
Like,
And like
I mean, these droughts aren't going away.
the crazy, I saw that crazy statistic. They're talking about the money that they sent over to Ukraine and everything. It could have ended homelessness in America 10 times over. Think about that. That's
What do you
a
s-
crazy number.
Devil's advocate button. Doop, devil's advocate. What are you supposed to do? They can't do it on their own.
No,
And
but
you're-
we
and-
had enough money that we sent over to another country that we could have ended it 10 times.
Yeah, but
here.
you're never
You
gonna.
could have had the
actually end it.
resource. Well, you could have prevented a lot of it.
Like, what are
you
they
could have
gonna
gave
do?
every
Hand
homeless
out
veteran
sandwiches?
$2 million.
Huh?
You can give every veteran $2 million with the money that we sent over there.
Well, yeah,
Instead
but
of worrying about that country and what's going on over there,
There-
you need to focus on what's going on here.
what
Border
about
security.
what about the
You could have
families
had
over there though?
the wall 10 times.
But what about the families over there? Like, you just gonna let that happen to them?
What are other
can't
countries
do
doing?
that.
Also, if you give
Well, the other countries are floating our debt so we can send the money over there. That's what they're doing.
Okay, so
That's what they're
if
doing.
something bad happens to us, are they going to be sending us money?
I hope so.
See,
hope
that's
so.
the problem.
Yeah.
Right there. You hope they do.
Well,
If they don't, what do we do?
this is a world economy. That's what happens.
so if we were to hand
That's
every
so they do because we have a strong military. That's why
But
they
we
do it.
can't anymore if
Our
support it.
military's still strong.
It's strong, but if we can't support it, I mean, recruit numbers are so far down right now. It's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, it's
Are we going to
scary-
have a
it's
military
scary
before too
world.
long?
Yeah, it's you and me. Well, I'm getting kind of old. I don't know if it's gonna be me.
do you think if we handed, like you said, if we handed every veteran $2 million, okay, so say we hand every homeless
I
person
mean, these are
$1
just
million.
stats.
We hand $1 million to every homeless person. They're not gonna become a contributor to society. They're gonna take that and live off of it. And then
But they are contributing to society in some way because if they're going to go live off of it, now they're putting
So
it back
what about
into the
okay? So why are we
economy.
giving them $1 million? What about the single parent
I mean,
with
it
2
said
kids? Why aren't we
this
giving them $1
stat-
million? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
where the rabbit
I
hole
mean,
goes.
We could have gave everyone in Maui for those fires a lot more than $700.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
well, that's what insurance is for, right?
a lot of it got canceled, right?
no.
No, well, you have a limit on your house, so your insurance covers up to that limit.
But they could have had given every family there, like I think they said like $1 million, $2 million,
But why would they do that when you have insurance?
if the insurance didn't cover it. What if you didn't have insurance on your? Because the insurance will cover that. What about your land that you just lost?
It's part when you buy a house, you buy that land.
Yeah, the
Not
land
there.
Yeah,
Huh?
it is.
Not
Yeah.
there.
You could still sell that land.
The land's part of the deed on the house.
Not there.
I don't know. I think that that's a hard argument. Is you
But
know,
it-
you
like,
have family
that and
you have
then-
families and people and supporters.
That and our border could have been built 10 times with the money that we sent over there. Like you need to
Well,
quit
they're
worrying about.
continuing the border. The border's
Yeah,
under
but they could have
construction.
had it done and built 10 different times, 10 different ways.
I don't know. Well, they get paid for it 10 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
that but
But the
again, you can't.
the thing is, like,
That'd be kind of like you're a parent, right? And you're a good parent, and you're a strong parent in your neighborhood, right?
yeah.
That'd be kind of like watching the kid across the street in the driveway getting the shit beat out of him
Well,
and not
anymore-
doing anything about it.
Anymore, you get in trouble if you go over there and try to intervene.
But you understand what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that'd be like you sitting there watching it. Like the United States is a superpower. They're a leader. Like they have to do something about it.
Even though we can't afford it.
yeah.
Right. Well, that's where the other countries come in. Right.
Problem is, they're not doing anything.
Well, they're supporting us. You know,
Not
they're not defaulting on our debt. You know, I mean, yeah, it's crazy.
I think Chris needs to play the devil's advocate somehow.
I know. I'm
Because
sorry.
we always play. I always played against him.
I was gonna say, no wonder you don't invite me on.
He never. No, it's good. It makes for a better conversation because Chris and I have the same opinion on
Yeah.
a lot of stuff. So it's
I just
to play,
look at it like, I don't see the government when I go to work. Do you?
Yeah. Well, sometimes they come marching in.
Oh, sometimes. But like the only time you see the government is usually on your payday, right? Where they took half of your fucking wages away. Or when it's, hey, we need money for the end of the year. That's the only time you see the government. They're not doing anything for us.
Well, but they're okay. All right, here we go. So you just mentioned that you want an SRO officer at every single school. That's what you're paying for. You want good roads.
But I'm not getting that.
You want good roads. You want good airports. You
I'm not
want
getting that.
electricity like this. That's
We're
yeah.
not
You
getting
are.
that.
You're getting all that right now.
I'm not getting SRO at every
Well,
school.
okay. You're getting not
budgets
that.
have to be passed in certain areas.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the quality of life in this country is so spectacular
It
compared
is.
to so many places in this world. And
I don't know. A lot of us are fat and unhealthy.
well, that means that we have a fantastic quality of life.
But if you go to other countries, they look at us and like other countries live a much healthier life than we
Yeah.
do.
Yep.
We overwork.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And we eat way too much unhealthy processed food. So a lot of countries are actually like, we are super unhealthy. Like that is a terrible way to
Yep.
live.
Yeah.
What
What I meant was like we can go wherever we want.
Right.
The bridges aren't falling down. We have air conditioning in pretty
depends
much
on which
every
state you're
building.
in.
unless you go to Detroit, then that's a
Yeah,
different
that's
story.
true, right?
California, a lot of their houses don't have AC.
Okay, well, it's California.
Well, that's because it used to not get very hot out there.
yeah, it's California. So
Still
I mean,
hot.
that's different. It's like
Well, same thing with Boston. like-
Phoenix. They don't have heaters. I
Right.
don't know if they do or not. I'm assuming they do, but it's like
some
it's
houses-
really hot out there.
Like Boston used to, most places did not have central air, but now with it heating up, you start seeing more window units and stuff going in. But just how it was.
yeah. I don't know. I feel pretty lucky.
How did we get on this whole topic?
I don't
anyway?
remember. We started talking about other countries. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
No, I've said everything I did. I just basically wanted to bring up that whole, thing with the ATF and the solvent traps and I know, if you live in Massachusetts, California, and all those others, you're used to this stuff that they keep bringing up. It's just sad because I love Massachusetts as like I love Boston
History
and everything,
of it
all the
and
history there, and the fact that they're so anti-Second Amendment really sucks.
Anti-constitution.
I would live there in a heartbeat, but because of that, I can't, and I also can't afford it. It's so freaking
Yeah.
expensive. But it's still. In
Hey,
the
those,
winter,
hey, those go hand in hand, by the way.
what?
California, Massachusetts. Think about it. Cost of living.
Yeah.
You know. Anyways,
I want to move to, like, somewhere where it's nice. Like Florida would be nice, but it's so expensive.
it's
Florida's
too
so
hot.
expensive.
it's too humid.
Yeah.
Your hair would get too fluffy. So
I
wouldn't
sweat.
mind.
I sweat a lot here in the winter. I can't imagine there in the
yeah,
summer.
I'm sweating.
I wouldn't mind
Shit.
I know my armpits are a little wet, but
what
either
she said.
north in the mountains or in the south.
I'd go to France.
I wouldn't go.
I
to
love
that.
France. France is so
I don't.
cool.
They're so mean to us.
Oh, everyone's so nice when you go over there. They love having you
No,
there.
they don't. I got
Okay.
on a train and this dude literally. Like,
Did you have your Confederate flag shirt on?
I was just
I'm
wearing
just
regular
kidding.
street clothes at the
Oh,
time,
well,
and
they know-
He
they
gave
know,
me,
though.
He gave me the nastiest look, like he wanted to murder me.
What were you wearing though?
I was just wearing like a regular all black
Said
t-shirt.
French fries on it.
No.
Sorry.
I had just a plain black t-shirt, jeans, and shoes.
So
Yeah.
you weren't wearing something like red, white, and blue obnoxious.
No, I wasn't wearing anything like that. It was either
Sorry.
that or a nice polo I was wearing,
I'm sure you look great.
because I didn't have much on the ship. All I had was like 3 or 4 outfits. That was it.
How many outfits do you own, like overall, you think?
A lot.
Really? Like if I walk into your closet, how many shirts? Oh, you do like clothing. Let's
Yeah.
talk. Okay, so how many shirts do you own, you think?
I've got a whole row of just t-shirts, and they're all color coded.
Do you hang them?
Yes.
You hang your t-shirts?
Yes.
Do you iron them?
Sometimes if they're
Oh
real
my
wrinkled.
gosh. The
Problem with
cotton.
hanging like your shirts is you get the little
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
lump right
you
here.
get the
Not-
nipples.
Now, if you get felt hangers,
Oh,
Those
felt
are
hangers.
expensive, though.
Who knew?
Not
Okay, what
really.
about pants? What's your pants situation like?
I got a lot of jeans. I got a lot of
When you say a lot of jeans, how many pairs of jeans do you own?
probably 20.
You own 20 pairs of jeans.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Keith, I think you're a little bit more like me. Like, I have 3 pairs of jeans, and I
Well,
really only
see-
like one of them.
I got 3 pair that I really, really like.
I wear
But I wear jeans at work every day.
Oh, okay.
I
see.
wear 4 pairs of jeans. I have a few more,
Yeah.
but I don't wear them.
Do you have a pair that you don't like as much as the other 3 pairs that you wear? Like a fallback jean?
No, I got 2 because I wear in I only wear jeans in like fall, winter, and I wear boots. So
They
my
have to be
4
boot
are
cut.
boot cut.
Oh.
So I go through the 2 of them are like the stretchy kind, and then
Yeah.
2 are like just regular.
Okay.
I prefer the regular right now just because the stretchy ones are actually like super old. And
I like the athletic ones. They stretch too.
I want to get some black jeans.
Do you wash? Okay, be honest. Do you wash your jeans after each wear?
No.
Neither do I.
Nope. About
do I.
2 or 3 times.
Unless I sweat a
2
lot
times.
and have like major swamp ass,
Yeah.
then yeah, I'll wash.
Do you? Okay. Do you
Well-
do you sniff the ass to make sure you don't have swamp ass?
Yes.
Be honest.
No.
Yes.
So do I.
Yes.
I sniff it.
You gotta do
You
the
gotta
smell
do the
test.
sniff.
And if
I just look.
it's a little there, you spray some cologne on there and
Oh, I
good to
don't, I
go.
don't have cologne. What if there's a little streak in the underwear? Do you just? Is that
Well, I changed my underwear.
Yeah.
okay.
mean-
Sorry, that was really gross.
I have a lot of pairs of underwear because I sweat a lot, so I
The underwear I'm wearing, I wore in high school. Right now.
Jesus Christ.
The underwear I'm wearing right this second, I had on in high school.
wow.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts.
And you make more money than all of us here.
No,
And
no. I just wear old underwear. I don't care. The T-shirt I have on has holes in it in my back right here.
you know, Joe, you make enough money to.
I don't like to spend money on clothes.
Why?
I just don't. I get in this weird mood. I'll go out and buy clothes, and then I won't do it for 3 more years.
So ask for Christmas. Like my brother-in-law is the same way. He won't like. He wears like say black socks until there's like holes through them. And my sister's like, "You're getting ridiculous." So then I'm like, "What does Brian want for Christmas?" And she's like, "He needs black socks or jeans because he will not buy them for himself."
Well, he probably waits for the big toes to wear out, and then then he switches them. You ever done that?
No.
So then the big toe hole is now on your pinky toe.
Man, as soon
That
as
would feel
as soon as I
uncomfortable.
get a hole in my sock, it's gone.
No,
Yeah,
I
I
switch.
can't.
I switch them.
I don't know. I got a couple with them. I'm like, I gotta
They're
remember to throw
not
'em away.
expensive.
It's just a pain in the butt to get socks.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
I like one brand of sock, and that's all I get usually.
Really?
And
You know, I
that's
did think to
Adidas.
myself when I put this T-shirt on this morning. I thought to myself, you should get some T-shirts.
Yeah.
Is that a white shirt? I can't tell.
Yeah, it's a white T-shirt.
Do you have like the yellowing underneath?
Oh, it's hard. It's hardened
well, and
yellow.
that's the problem with that is
Yeah.
now it's gonna smell even worse every time you sweat in there.
Oh, I mean, this again.
like
I probably wore this T-shirt in college.
A
so.
5-pack for like $10
Dude.
at Walmart.
You need to throw that shit away, man.
You want to smell it?
No,
I'll take it off if you want to smell it.
I'm good.
What would it? $10. Would you
Once
smell
it gets that saturated and stuff, like
Do you know what I'm talking about? Like it gets almost like hair gel in there.
Yeah.
Like you've like saturated in hair gel.
so it
Yeah,
may
it's really
smell good
gross.
when you first put it on, but then as soon as you start sweat, it's gonna bring out all that other stank.
Do you smell me? Can you smell me?
No.
Okay, well then, there you go.
Take your jacket off. No,
No, I'm not taking you to be able to smell me with my jacket off. That's for
No,
sure.
I just like clothes. So
Yeah, you've always kind of like
Chris
clothes,
is-
shoes, you
clothes
like
and shoes.
Yeah.
Chris is very pretty. He likes his clothes and shoes. I mean, I have a lot of t-shirts. I wear maybe a quarter of them.
yeah, I got a lot.
Yeah. I've started to get away from like collared shirts. I'm buying sweaters without collars now.
That was a fad because when we were growing up.
I hope it still is. I just bought sweaters.
Well, no, because when we were growing up, I remember being a kid and having the collar, like just a regular crew neck.
Yeah.
And then that became uncool, and those went out of style but now they're coming back in style. Kind of like flannel
And
shirt.
horizontal striping is coming in. I don't know why. Yeah. I don't know.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
I'm just glad, like, when we were kids too, flannel shirts weren't cool. And
They're
then they
really
came-
cool now.
Yes.
Yeah.
They've been cool since I was they came back when I was in college.
Yeah.
And it's stayed that
Well,
way.
you thought they were back. I don't know if they were back, but
I go through phases. Like I used to wear nothing but polos.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
me too.
then, once you work from home, you kind of just started wearing but now I'm finding myself wearing more polos again. But like these dry wick ones,
Yeah.
Mhm.
That or like the really like thin golf
because
ones.
I sweat a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to wear all the American Eagle and what's Express
Hollister, Express. Yeah.
But they're all cotton,
Yeah.
and you can
You can see the sweat.
But like this, if I'm sweating right now, you can't even tell.
No, you look good.
That's why I like these. And plus, black is slimming.
Chris
Yep.
is trying to he's like, am I sweating?
He's
through
trying to
this cotton?"
flex a little bit.
I
You see
know.
that? He's like, hey.
Then you're swole.
No. I need to start hitting the gym again.
What's
noticed
with the beard?
that-
The beard is intense. I've never seen you with the beard like this
Yeah.
before.
But his beard is usually really dark. Look how
Yeah,
It's
right.
like, is
Right,
it
it's right
coarse?
right
Let me
here.
feel it. Let me see. Oh, it's very. Oh, yeah, it's coarse. Nice. You even have a little bit of a going
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
he's going for Santa.
You know, like 4 more years, I was gonna say you could do Santa.
Yeah. Make some money on the side. Side
Hell
hustle.
yeah, hell yeah.
Well, by then it's gonna be all white anyway, so it doesn't even
Yeah.
have to color it.
Yep.
You have tattoos on your chest, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay. Sorry.
Not all of us have them on our lower back like you, Joe.
It's not a tattoo. It's a stamp. Okay. Thank you. Anyways, I don't know how we got onto that. Sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got to figure out next week's because I'm going to be gone on Wednesday. I'm going to be in Phoenix.
Why are you going to Phoenix?
Oh man. And
Work thing.
Tuesday I'm gonna be out of town.
All right. What are you doing this weekend? Maybe we'll do something.
I don't
this
know.
weekend.
I'm going to be in Springfield, but I'm not invited. Sorry.
No.
I'm not part of this. Deal.
Springfield.
Joe was a last minute guest. Chris called me like 10 minutes before he was supposed to show up, and he's like, "Hey, you got another microphone?" I'm like, "Dude, I got a lot of microphones, but it's not set up."
I invited myself, but I don't care.
It's all right.
I was waiting all afternoon,
I'm
and
sure
then you
peop-
called. I'm like, oh, and you didn't even talk about it. I'm like, well, I'm gonna invite myself.
That's
Not,
fine.
you know,
I'm sure people get sick and tired of me and Chris,
Yeah.
and because we think alike, so we just,
yeah. Sorry.
of course, because then sometimes I got to play devil's advocate just for something to talk about, and
Yeah.
have a second opinion, and so
Kind of hard.
I think one of these days, Chris, you need to be the devil's advocate. Like you need to be like, why?
I don't know.
You need to. It's fun.
It is.
It is
fun.
actually really
It's
fun. Like I don't agree with the other side, but it's still fun
Yeah.
to make.
It's just hard for me to think like them because I think it's so ridiculous.
It's easy. It's like
What do you
okay.
mean them?
You know what I mean.
No,
You know,
but like if say you were to ask me like, okay, so why do you want an AR? Why do you need an AR-15? Then I got to come up with like an excuse, and then you could ask these questions like, because you watch the news and all this stuff, so you know how to think like them. So just make me explain myself, kind of a
I don't
thing.
know. I just
It's
don't.
super easy. It's not that hard. I love it.
I don't know. It's hard for me
No, it's not.
because I think it's ridiculous.
Right.
So I
but-
don't want to ask ridiculous questions because I already know the answer to.
Well, okay, so that's the problem, Chris.
As a co-host, you have to
That's
be able
the
to play
problem.
devil's
No,
advocate.
you've always thought you were right, all the time, and that's a great
Yeah.
that's a great thing.
Hey, Chris, are you ever wrong?
Depends.
See what I mean?
Depends on what
Everyone
it
was
is.
like, "Oh, that was an asshole thing to say." Oh yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah, it just depends on what it is. What topic?
Well,
If I do research
have
on it,
found-
it's going to be very hard.
I have found that it's okay to
If I don't know
put
something,
yourself in behind somebody else's eyeballs.
like if
In
I don't
somebody
know
else's
something,
shoes.
I'll
In somebody else's
straight
shoes.
up tell you I don't know.
Yeah,
Like, why lie?
I don't know.
That
I don't think. I mean, why let the truth get in the way of a great story?
So you'd be like, okay, Joe, would the world be better without any guns, period? Just ask that question. I know you don't, you know.
You want me to answer that? Do you want me to answer that?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Honestly, if there were like,
Without no weapon. Oh God, now I don't know.
but if not a
Now
single,
I don't know.
if not a single person had a gun, sure, maybe.
What about bombs?
I want.
Who's got
bombs
a-
gone?
How can you make
Those.
bombs go away?
That's what I mean. So
Like
like,
gunpowder go away. Period. What would you do?
what about
You think
atoms?
That's okay.
What about physics,
Well, then
chemistry?
We would all be not here.
We'd be speaking
Have
another language.
you watched the season 4 of Jack Ryan yet?
Who's Jack Ryan?
I haven't. I watched like the first season. And I kind of got out of it.
Oh, it's good. I like it. I didn't like the 3rd season, but the this one's pretty good.
Reacher's coming back.
Do you need a nipple for that? We can help you out if you want.
Dude, he's got 2 drinks. He's got
Yeah,
that
I've been
little bit of
drinking a little
scotch.
bit of both.
Okay, sorry. You want a third here? Here you
No,
go.
I'm good.
Grab some Jack
Joe,
Daniels.
you got to drink a little bit more.
I am not.
That was not cheap.
Nope. I've had 1.5 drinks and I'm good. I gotta cruise on.
You know, we got a spare
Home.
room.
Nah,
Give that to the
I gotta be at work at 8.
Okay, so
8
you're
banking
a lot,
hours, huh?
You're a lot closer to work here than you if you go home. Just saying.
banking hours. I wish I had those hours.
I know, right?
I'll give you my white stained shirts from high school, and you'll.
I already got those. Don't worry.
I don't. I throw all. Man, once you get that, like I said,
First
that,
stain, it's
that
gone.
stain, and it
Yeah.
starts getting hard, you throw that.
It's hard.
It gets kind of like sparkly.
I just
depending on your
just
deodorant.
want you to know I'm 2 years past that on everything I
Jesus.
own. Yeah, you can see through my underwear.
Because I also.
And Carrie allows this.
She knows that I'm sensitive.
But here's one thing else about me. I don't pay full price for clothes.
Okay.
I
See,
usually
I will
go-
if I like it. I'll just pay for it.
I won't. I'll wait for it to go on sale.
So I played a dirty trick on Best Buy today. So I looked on their website to see if they price match, and they said they did. Right. So I went into I bought a new camera.
Is that it?
I've been no.
Oh.
I didn't have time to fully set it up. I want a full frame camera that I can have closer and a lot better. So I've been doing like a lot of research on. There was 2 I wanted. I was debating on the 2. I'm indecisive. I'm like, so I just went with my gut. I'm like, I went with the one I originally wanted. So I went with that. Well, I was gonna order from this site called B&H Photo,
Oh no.
and they have discounts, but then also because I signed up for JUCO like a couple years ago, I'm
Sign up for what?
for JUCO. I was
Okay.
gonna do like some photography side classes,
Oh, that's cool.
but so I'm technically a student, so I get a student discount on top of the other discounts.
You ripped them off.
So I'm
You
like,
ripped Best Buy off.
so I'm like, so you honor these prices from B&H? And they're like, yeah. Well, I didn't let them know that my price also includes a discount plus the student discount. So I got a real good deal. And they honored it both on the camera and the lens I bought. I'm like, hell yeah.
So you ripped them off.
I didn't rip them off. They said they'd price match.
Are
And they
you?
did.
So let me ask you a question. How many hours have you enrolled in this
I didn't-
semester?
You
You might want to edit this part out. You're gonna have the feds at
3.
your door like, hey, can we see that camera?
3.
No, but I mean, the kid that was like, I knew a lot about these cameras. Like, I've done my research, and the kid was like, "Oh, I have both of these." And when he said this other one I was looking at doesn't do photo, I'm like, "All right, you've lost all respect," because I know for a fact it does photo.
Doesn't do photo. It's a
Yeah,
camera.
I know. I'm like,
What the hell is
you-
it gonna be doing?
I'm like, you sound like an idiot, and he just sitting, he just unprofessional the whole time. So I don't feel bad at all, because he was so like, I only wanted to buy it there just because I don't have to wait for shipping and stuff.
Oh.
So I'm like, hey, you price match? Okay, cool. Stupid kid, but yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
I'm excited to see this camera.
It's
Pretty sweet.
it's nice.
Does it have a wide angle?
Yeah, it's a full frame. So this is what's called an APS-C camera. So it's like a crop sensor. It has a smaller sensor.
Yeah.
So the new one will be able to have a lot closer.
Is
to
this
us.
for your OnlyFans page? Be honest.
Yes.
Really?
Feet only.
Yes.
No.
I can't give you my.
No, don't do that. Just
can't-
do the full thing.
I can't give you my OnlyFans account though.
Why not? You'll be on the news.
My job can't find out
Oh yeah.
because I make $1 million on the side from this.
Did you see that teacher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yeah, I made $1 million
She's-
in 3 months." Okay, I got fired.
She's
Really miss the students.
She's my co-host, whatever. I've actually never been on that website at all.
I don't.
Neither
I
have
don't.
I.
Yeah. I don't.
Is it a website or is it an app?
I think it's
I don't know.
both. I don't know.
I've never. I'm too afraid. I don't want to
Me
get caught
too.
doing something I'm not supposed to be doing.
Who would catch you?
I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Not
We're
worth it.
too old for that now. We can start saying that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're too old for that
Well,
shit.
with all that gray hair, I mean, Chris.
Just so you know, you two have more gray hair than I do. I don't care what you say. Look,
Usually,
you do. You
Usually
for
when
sure
Chris
do.
comes on the podcast, like I haven't seen Chris surprisingly in like what 2 weeks.
Yeah.
well, that's cute.
Usually his beard is like dark.
Yeah. I usually dye it.
He dyes it, but seeing him right now with this light beard, it's a little weird.
Yeah.
You know what we should do? Not that I'm a regular on here, but
Sit on
we
his
should-
lap and tell him what we want for Christmas.
why don't we go get our hair dyed and then do an episode?
I've got some at home.
No, just,
You know what pisses me off about both of you guys?
What?
Is you have a full head of hair.
Oh, there's no problem here. Well, Chris is losing a little bit on the sides here.
He's always had that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Remember when you bleached it
Yeah.
in band?
Oh, dude,
Oh.
I did that shit too.
Hey, I'm giving my trumpet to Olathe East.
What?
Yep, we're giving it my trumpet. I talked to Schmeichel,
Jeez.
and he is. They don't have any loaner like trumpets in the classroom, and mine's just sitting there.
play it.
I'm not gonna play. We don't have time to play it, so it's a tax write-off. But there's some kid that's gonna use it. You
Dang.
know,
Dude, yeah. Same thing with me. Like,
they need saxophones.
well, I sold mine to pay for our wedding.
Oh, okay.
But again, kind of the same
What'd you
point.
get for it? Do you remember?
My tenor, I got like 1,500.
Oh shit.
You could have got some money for your
No, I
trumpet.
know. I get like $3,000.
Yeah.
But I just get a it's a write-off, and some kid again could use it.
Yeah. My thing now
Oh,
is
I've got
like,
mine.
like,
Yeah. I was just about to strong arm
felt
you into
bad.
donating yours too.
like
Ah,
I
good
felt
luck with
bad
that.
selling them, but I'm like, all right, when was the last time I played this?
Right. I don't blame
Am
you at
I
all.
ever going to play this again?
I don't blame.
I
That's
literally
exactly
played
what I
mine
had in my
2
head.
months ago.
Do you have 1 or 2 trumpets?
3.
So can I have one of them to donate?
I got a pocket trumpet.
What's the other one?
My king, my first one.
Oh,
I
let's
brought.
get rid of that one.
No,
Let's give it to him.
because Mason's gonna need it.
Nah, you got 2 more.
No, because
They
the
need
professional
'em,
one's
man.
staying with mine.
Yeah.
Well, there's also plenty of music places around here. I'm sure they can donate and give them good deals.
They have that band
He
of
said he's
Angels
like, I
thing.
don't have any. Huh? They don't have a budget to buy them.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they do because they pay an extra $275 for extracurricular activity for every student.
Oh.
And band's considered an extracurricular.
I had the
Well, I don't feel bad. I feel like
when I was in band, my parents either had to rent one for me or buy one.
Yeah.
Like, the school didn't have any to
I
give.
bought
Well, so they
mine
have.
from a-
So now, if you can't afford one, then they will loan you one for the year. Which, you know, they're trying to get kids involved and wanting to
Right.
play. And I mean, think about what it did for the 3 of us.
Quit
know.
putting it into sports. Put it back into music.
Yeah, but
It's been
sports
proven
is
that.
such a huge moneymaker.
Yeah, but music does more for you developmental wise for the brain and everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
We
you have
developed
the,
it
you have
very
the
well.
potential to make a lot more money in sports, though. Honestly, musicians,
Yeah.
I mean, in band, rarely make anything. But you become a freaking look at Patrick Mahomes. I mean,
Yeah.
you make 500,000 a
Well, it just
10 years.
depends too. Like, what do you do for music? Are you going to be a soloist? Are you playing for the symphony? Because some of those people make a lot
Yeah,
of money.
they do. They do. Well,
mean,
maybe we can
Teachers
help them.
make pretty good money for music, especially
know.
once you start getting up there with principals and things like that. You know, I can see Jeff Smeichels' yearly income. Anybody in Olathe school
Oh, is he
district.
making good?
Yeah,
Good for him. He should. He deserves it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
I can see anybody that's because it's considered
Public.
public
Oh,
knowledge.
then we can probably look at it.
Yeah, I can look at it. I know the website.
I hope they make a lot of money. They deserve it. It's a hard job.
Some of them I think don't make enough.
Oh, I believe it. Oh, I bet you 99% of them don't make enough.
No. Like I was shocked the first time I went on there and like looked at principals and what they made. I was like,
They make a lot.
yeah.
So, Joe, if they were like,
Good.
if you bought this gun, the money would go to. If you were to buy an AR, say, and an AK, and the money goes to the school, would you buy one?
No, I would never even know.
What?
Lottery tickets in Missouri go to the schools. I never bought a lottery ticket.
Oh, I would.
Anyway. All right, we should probably wrap this up. We're way over our hour, and now we're just talking
No,
about
I think
stuff
we're
people
doing
don't
good.
care. Yeah.
We have some filler.
Maybe we should turn it into 2 podcasts because I'll be out of town next week.
Maybe.
Which,
Let's keep going. I'm good.
I am super excited for Phoenix, obviously, because it's going to be a lot warmer. And then the first thing I'm doing on...
Fuck you. In and out.
Yep.
Motherfucker.
Going straight to In-N-Out Burger, man.
Oh, animal sauce.
Dude, that
animal
is so
sauce.
good.
4x4.
I don't do animal style because I don't like pickles.
My God.
No, what's wrong with you?
Pickles are gross.
So good.
If you guys like the wall panels behind us that are displaying our awesome Second Amendment, check out tacticalwalls.com for all the stuff. These are the mod wall panels. You can buy them individually or you can buy them in sets, depending on your setup and everything. And they also have a bunch of cool concealment stuff, furniture and everything. So check out tacticalwalls.com. Use code BST10. We don't see any of that, but it's just something cool to pass on to you guys because I love this stuff. And it's always cool to strategically hide your guns around the house in case you need to, especially if you don't have kids like my wife and I, and you can pretty much have them anywhere. But yeah. Also, if you guys like the motorcycle content that we had on this channel, check out Rusted KC Moto. I'm moving all that stuff over there to a dedicated motorcycle channel. So it'd be cool to get the subscriber count up on that.
Are we going to do a podcast on motorcycles?
We have.
We
could
have
do another
before.
one.
What the hell?
Hey, guns, motorcycles, whiskey. What's not to like about that? Everybody likes that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all I got. Joe, we appreciate you being on and just kind of inviting yourself on last
You're
minute.
very welcome.
I'm glad
That was awesome.
I'm glad we could fit you in. And
Will not be
accommodate
the
you.
last time.
All right. So I'll send you a bill for being on our podcast.
No
and
problem.
Studio time.
Wait, now I really can't afford t-shirts.
And so Chris.
Remember, this is a YouTube podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and tickle that bell. If you're listening on any other platforms, such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever you want to listen to us on, remember, hit that follow. With that, have a good one.
Always staring up high, hoping for a glimpse of the sky. This ain't no time to pretend.